Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Radhamadava, welcome. Radha Kund, ready. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Good morning. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. If I go on during your time, sort of, I'm only on for about an hour now, so then you guys can go out after, in case, yeah. I'll do the two-part thing. I like to kind of get up early too, kind of do something, then do again, then you can go. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, we'll work it out. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Oh Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Oh my Lord, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Oh my wonderful Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Oh Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari, Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari, Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Thanks for using Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh my Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh my Lord, Sri Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh my Lord Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Oh my Lord, Sri Krishna. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't believe this. Oh my God. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh boy. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh my Lord. Oh my wonderful Lord. Oh, thank you for letting me back in. Oh, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Oh my wonderful Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh, Krishna Krishna.
Thanks for using.
Just in time. Everything's timed perfectly now nowadays. I was listening to somebody quoting a Bible verse this morning, the one in the garden, where, God says, don't eat from the tree of good and evil. Anyway, Eve was tricked by the snake. So she ate it. He just, tricky words, kind of speculation, twisting the words like this. It's the problem, why people are still in Maya. No reason for you to even to remain a Maya, what do you call it, Vaidhi Bhakti. When you give up speculation, you transcend that. So it's the only reason they speculate. So that's all they just gotta hear from a person who is getting this communion and communication. Very deep stuff. Yeah, so anyway, the snake, So the snake convinces her. So she eats, and so the snake says, "Oh, you can eat. Yeah, you can eat from the thing because when you do, then you'll see like God does. Good and evil. You'll be able to judge good and evil now, like God judges." See, it's kind of it's a kind of a twisted idea. See, everything's twisted. It's a shadow, very shadowy. You'll be like God, you can judge good and evil like him. See, he's the judge, right? People, even Christians, they think, oh yeah, the Lord, Jesus Christ is going to sit and judge you. Good, oh, you good deeds, you go this way, bad deeds go this. That's Yamaraj, see, the judge. Yeah, so the snake says, oh yeah, doesn't that sound good? Become like God. Yeah. And so anyway, she eats the apple, right? And Adam also convinces him. And so now they're in the good and evil thing. See, they're the good. See, they drop down to a Lord Brahma type thing. You're in the good. See, the snake is the evil one, right? He's tricky, lies, deceives. So God says to them something very interesting. I never heard this, understood this before, never saw it. So God says, the snake is always going to be your enemy. And you're going to hate the snake, right, for doing this to you, tricking you and lying and all this. And so anyway, that's what's happening here. So, demigods, below God, is also a God thing. Same thing with the demons. The demons and the demigods control this universe. See, they're the ones. See, they're like gods. Ye shall be like gods. So this universe is like theirs in a sense, but it's not. It's an illusion. Bewildered. And so the good people hate the demons. They hate them. And so the way they got along, sort of, is they're in the shadows. The snakes are always operating in the shadows, so there's not so much hate coming out until they start coming out of the shadows. See, and then the dynamics, the good and evil, the good versus evil comes. Okay? Because naturally the demigods hate the evil. They hate evil. And the evil ones they hate, you ever hear they talk about this? They hate humanity. They want to destroy everything. So they hate each other. So this desire and hate is what keeps this thing going, in this world. Okay? Now this chanting, it's a marvelous idea of Lord Chaitanya. It's fantastic, because you get out of this. It's like a narrow gate, especially when you do it in society of devotees. You get through this good and evil thing. I mean, this is why you need ultimately a chanter who is in the garden now. They transcended, or they're transcending this desire and hatred. That's why a real devotee doesn't hate anybody. Prahlad, he didn't hate his father. He was just preaching matter of fact, about devotional service. The demigods hate. They hate with these. That keeps everything going. So the devotees, they just love God. See, they're just into loving God. And this, what's going on between the demons and demigods, they're like, in a sense, they're like the Lord, neutral. The Lord is living inside the demon and inside the demigod, right? Observing things. So the devotees, more or less, unless they're here preaching, because then we preach devotional service, right? Preach people how to transcend this. Otherwise, this fight's going to go on and on and on. It's just back and forth, ping pong. That's all it is. And it's just ping pong, back and forth, hate. And so when the demons, they come out of the shadows and then they fight. They fight for control. It's the mode of ignorance and passion fighting for control over goodness. And then when goodness is in control, it retreats to the shadows. It's always there still. Lurking, they say that, roaming around, lurking in the shadows. That's unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, the Lord shows you all when you really, worship the Lord in this loving ecstasy, transcending. He starts to show you all kinds of interesting things. How is my Avis even working? Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, when you get the shelter again of the Lord, then this stuff cools down because it's the desire and hate that causes action and reaction. You get a reaction. That's why you see people fighting this. They go on there, and this is their thing. I mean, everybody's got their nature. They're going to fight, and they feel great fighting and sacrificing their life for the good. See, to overcome evil. And the evil, they feel great fighting, to take over the world. They hate the good people. They just did. They just what they do. This is to them it's we just hate you. They hate each other too. Actually, that's how they live. It's by hate. That's why they cause hate and fear in the world because it's their energy. Okay? The good people don't like it. They like the higher modes. So unbelievable. This chanting is perfect, man. Anybody comes here, you're really fortunate. Really are. Really, really. The Lord's letting us back into the kingdom, His kingdom, the eternal one, and that's a fact. That's why sometimes when the devotees preach, people hate them because they mistake the mode of pure goodness, this for goodness. It looks like so demons hate a devotee if they're preaching because they mistake it. They think, oh, this guy's after me. He's trying to. Or the demigods, they get jealous and they think, oh, this person's trying to take my position. See, I got a position in goodness or something, like I'm a religious person. So they misunderstand that devotee is here to give blessing to the world, to help them, to help everybody transcend. Yes, tripping this whole thing. Let's see what we can get, what kind of mischief we can get into here. Let's see. Let's see some glorification of these devotees. This is Krishna Shamananda. There's all these very interesting, unusual books, Shamananda Prakash, I'll just read this. Chapter 1. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Jesus. All glories to Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu, and all glories to Advaita Chandra, and all the devotees of Ma Anus. Misspell. He is perfect representative of God. I honor him as I would honor the Supreme Lord himself. I worship the feet of Gauridas Pandit. I worship the feet of Gauridas Pandit. Like a dog, I eagerly wait to eat the remnants of his food, life after life. I worship Sri Nityananda and Sri Chaitanya, taking refuge under their feet. That's why not to neglect the reading and the chanting of the Chaitanya Lila. That's taking refuge under their feet. They very easily give this devotion. That's what I noticed. When I couldn't always chant our Maha Mantra to this extent before. This was after years. I was taking shelter, the Lila first. It was purifying me. I was chanting the verses for, for years, just more, just feeling more and more. And it helped me enter into the Maha Mantra. And This is why take shelter. The devotees knew this. Devotees took shelter. That's how Lord Chaitanya is the greatest incarnation. Him and Nityananda and Advaita. They came to give it unprecedented mercy to the world. Chanting this Maha Mantra, usually you have to be so highly. It is impossible to chant in ecstasy this mantra. It is so transcendental unless we have special mercy in this lila. And that's why the devotees of Lord Chaitanya understand this point and preach the glories of Lord Chaitanya, preach the glories of the shelter of his feet. And you could see it here active in our Sangha, how like when you see River reading the Leela of Lord Chaitanya, how it's softening her heart, how it's purifying her. Even though still stuff is coming up, still the Lord gives his shelter without considering a River, are you or anybody else, are you advanced or not? Are you worthy of this shelter or not? Doesn't even consider. And automatically, oh, you've got a bona fide guru, somebody I've really instructed and empowered, and you believe in them. Oh, here you go. You're coming the right way. That's all I want to know. You listen to your guru. You have faith in his teachings. You listen. You heard. You're trying, to integrate this process into your life. You're sticking with it even though it's tough sometimes. And you really do want me, this is the test because there's a fire here going on, baptism by fire. You're burning up your karmas. That's why you feel the heart it moves you to another level. Even my heart yesterday was burning. I thought, there's something happening here. You would say sometimes burning in the time of separation and because you're moving to another level. Even at this stage here. Still burning. And I know now, because I know. I call it a scar of Radha, having your heart scarred by Radha. The decent and devotion, this unearthed stuff to come out, more to come out. It burns up. And that's good fortune for us. And then you just more and more bhakti, more and more awakening, more realization. That's this path. That's why you need encouragement. You need to know what's happening to some extent. You notice? This is the experienced devotees. This is why there's no way you could walk this path. You wouldn't be encouraged. You'd think, some of this stuff is happening. You'd think, oh, this is a bad thing. Let me go somewhere else. Let me leave. Okay? You need experienced devotees. That's why you devotees going through this are an inspiration to the world, because then they will be encouraged also by your example. This is the fast track. This is how you quickly. Otherwise, you hover in that Vaidhi, religious level where there's speculations and you don't go through the process of purification. The literally burning up of karma because you're around hot devotees who have this heat going. See, they're like fire now. Because of that, and you're around fire, what's going to happen? All the contamination is going to burn up. See, so that you're becoming like that. You're becoming like fire devotees here. Yeah. And this gives inspiration for those who want also Krishna, because you got to transcend good and evil. You see how, this is, you live in bliss now, in the realm of bliss and ecstasy. Beyond this is good and this is bad and all that stuff. So you see, it's a real change of life. It's a real transformation beyond this, what most people live in this realm of good and evil, polarized between one side or the other, or a little bit of both inside. Little saint and sinner, Oops, what's this? Oh. Ah. Once Gauridas Pandit Thakur, the spiritual master of Hridayananda Goswami, bestowed his mercy upon Shamananda by ordering him to go to Braj. Once Gauridas Pandit Thakur, the spiritual master of Hridayananda Goswami, bestowed his mercy upon Shamananda, Sri Shamananda, by ordering him to go to Braj. Upon his receiving this instruction, Shamananda immediately became indifferent to the affairs of the material world. He eagerly approached his guru, Hridayananda Dev, requesting permission to leave for Braj at once. His spiritual master kindly consented, and Shamananda left for Vrindavan. Sri Shamananda Goswami settled in Braj, living with Jiva Goswami. So Shamananda is one of those three preachers that took the Goswami books and preached them in West Bengal and delivered people, gave love of God. So we've got a similar mission, the same thing. We have the Goswami books and Prabhupada's books, and we're preaching what they preached then. And then love of God awakened now like it did then. So it's the same kind of process. You know, the Goswamis wrote the books, and then these empowered preachers preached them. See, it's just like Prabhupada wrote the books, taught a little Vaidhi, built the temples, wrote the books. We have the Goswami books too, been translated, and now we're preaching. And what's happening? Awakening of love of God. The Vaishnavas just got to get their head wrapped around this is real. This is the truth, you know. And once they accept this, then it'd be very easy for them to enter into this, you know, without having to die and go through more births, you know, and you know, you probably won't get this in just any life, you know, this opportunity, you know, it's just very unique. But you know, if you do, great, and then you still got to do the same thing. So whoever's ready in this generation, in this life, can do it, because it's here. The path is open now. The door is open. Just come on in. Yeah. So whoever's ready, the Lord will draw. Maybe, you know, 10, 20, 30 people, maybe millions, who knows? Let's find out. Check it out. Yeah. Shamananda spent his days and nights listening to the Rasa Lila of Sri Radha and Krishna, tasting the essence of its Madhurya Ras. Totally absorbed in these loving pastimes, he completely forgot all bodily demands. He fully engaged in the service of Kanataka Kunja, cleaning and worshipping it every morning. He served the lotus feet of Sri Jiva and spent the rest of his time hearing the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Once, while listening to such pastimes, his mind became so deeply absorbed in divine love that he fell unconscious in the kunj. It appeared that his breathing had stopped and no signs of life were visible in his body. Seeing him in this condition, Sri Jiva was panic-stricken. Lifting the body of Shamananda, Jiva quickly carried him to his house. A long 27 hours passed before Shamananda regained consciousness and sat up. He then fell at the feet of Sri Jiva and took the dust of his lotus feet and placed it on his head. Greatly relieved, Sri Jiva happily offered Shamananda prasada. Cherishing a hope within his mind, Shamananda asked Sri Jiva, "O Goswami, kindly fulfill my desire. Please tell me how I can attain the mercy of Radha and Krishna." Sri Jiva lovingly advised Shamananda, explaining the 5 types of ras, particularly the Madhurya ras. Inspired by Shamananda's submissiveness, Sri Jiva went on to explain frankly that Bhav and Bhava Rasraya are the same. Imagination and love based on imagination. Uh-huh. These are interesting topics to study, maybe. Imagination and love based on imagination. I think we need to look at it word for word on some of these things. These explanations fully satisfied the heart of Shamananda. Sri Jiva then instructed Shamananda regarding, you see, I knew there's something going on here. There's question marks from the translator. This was translated by Kushakrata. He just translated a whole bunch of books, and a lot of stuff he just question mark, because it's just so deep, it was beyond his understanding. But it's so nice to read. For us, the Lord helps us in many ways like this. Sri Jiva instructed Shamananda regarding the practice of austerities and method of Raghunuga worship, bhajan. By the mercy of Jiva Goswami, who had taken shelter of Rupa, Shamananda began worshipping Radha and Krishna continuously. Day by day, he became increasingly absorbed in devotional service. His mind was inspired, udipan, by love, raga, and he fell into a trance of spontaneous devotion, rag atmika. With his body, mind, and words, he engaged in the service of Radha and Krishna in the Kunj. He was always preoccupied with the thought of observing the divine pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Externally, he expertly practiced religious austerities, while internally he lovingly served their lordships along with Rupa Manjari. Inside the Kalpakunja, Kutir in Vrindavan, Radha and Krishna daily performed Rasa Lila. Those who are not qualified there's a lot of Sanskrit words here that I don't know. Palikya Amika, non-Vedic, Advaita, or non-Brahmanas, and causes Ahuti persons are unable to perceive this reality, but see only the illusory energy of the Lord. Yeah, and basically that's you transcending non-duality, but even more than that. You come into the spiritual yoga maya of the Lord's transcendental potency. This is the ultimate. Yeah. So these devotees, they got that opportunity to go, and that was their thing. But could like right now, it's not really practical, and unless you're really attracted to go and do that, sit there, go to Vrindavan, and sit there and meditate on the Rasa Leelas and all that. I don't know. I think I'm sticking with this mission here. A lot of people want to, they want to do it. Prabhupada always, no, don't do that yet. No, it's not time for that. One day, Radha and Krishna, along with their Sakis, were dancing and singing joyfully within the Kunj. Holding one another's hands, Radha and her Sakis made a circle around Krishna. They danced delightfully, and Krishna, whose beauty and charms Cupid himself, danced along with them. And while other Sakis sang and played musical instruments. When Sri Radha danced, Krishna observed with great joy. Sometimes she danced, and other times she enjoyed watching her Sakis dance. The perfection of the eyes is these divine amusements. You know, it's kind of interesting. This is what my ex-wife, she ended up wanting to do. She, read these kind of leelas like this, and she went to Radha Kund. She said, "What? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not going and sitting and doing like the Goswamis? They recommend that this is what everybody should do." But anyway, she tried to do it for years and could never pull it off, and missed this opportunity of engaging in practical service. I mean, it's beyond me to even. I'm not. I'd rather just follow Prabhupada's order and have the devotees here that want to help me and engage like this, and I feel we're making advancement. See, a real advancement. But see, you do that prematurely, and that's the lesson. You can't pull it off. You see, and you lose this opportunity to make real spiritual advancement and help others at the same time. See? So that happens sometimes, and that happened here, not only with her, another guy, another devotee, Mahavirya, did the same kind of thing, wanted to do his austerities alone. And I was thinking, boy, we have a nice family here growing. Why don't you, be part of the family? And no, I want to go do my bhajan, you know, and read all these Goswami books alone. See, alone, me and, it happens. And they miss this opportunity of real advancement. And then they even become adverse. Probably say you're a fool, for doing this. So it shows you this is the correct path. It works. It works, and it's um, it's really practical. Anything else than separation for millions of lifetimes. Yeah. Do you want to say something there, Lolita? No. Okay. Actually, I'm going to read something else now. This is, let's take that down. I'll read that and we'll circle back to that another time. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Let's continue on with this Prahlad Maharaj story. So one who is too attached cannot understand that he is wasting his life, valuable life, for the maintenance of his family. He also fails to understand that the purpose of human life is suitable for realization of the absolute. In being imperceptibly spoiled. However, he is cleverly attentive to seeing that not a single farthing is lost by mismanagement, And thus, although an attached person in material existence always suffers from the threefold miseries, he does not develop a distaste for the way of material existence. It's such a shame that people don't have this knowledge. They don't, you can see it every day. Because of lack of this knowledge, they're totally into this world and into worldly things. This is why this knowledge is so important. Because you begin to see, oh wow, there's something spiritual that is really more important to develop. You know, see, this is called transcendental knowledge. See, it transcends the material conception, and that's why it's important to hear. As it is, just understand these principles of the Bhagavatam. This gives light to the world. Otherwise, people don't have any light. They just go around these activities every day. See, they don't have this knowledge. See, this is the information they need to make better decisions about what they do with their time. Okay? So lacking this information. That's why the Bhagavatam, that's why Prabhupada wrote these books, to give this information. It's important. Yeah. So Prahlad goes on. If a person too attached to the duties of family maintenance is unable to control his senses, the core of his heart is immersed in how to accumulate money. Okay? And so generally people are just, they're too attached to everything. Just naturally, you can't help it. If that's all you got, you just fully into it. You're fully into what you're doing. See, that's why you see there's conflict at first when you can take to this path. You're conflicted. There's the old part that one is attached to the conditionings in that life, and then you got this new emerging part there. There's a divine inner conflict, actually. So you're making a transition. See? And after a while, then you go all, more this way, see, and you become steady in spiritual life. See, a life of the spirit. See? And the life of the matter, okay, it doesn't matter as much as it did before, and less and less and less. Yeah. Very practical. Yeah. If a person, yes, although he knows that one takes wealth of others will be punished by the law of the government and by the laws of Yamaraj, after death he continues cheating others to acquire money. O my friends, O sons of the demons, in this material world, even those who are apparently advanced in education have a propensity to consider this is mine and that is for others. Thus, they are always engaged in providing the necessities of life to their families in a limited conception of family life. Just like uneducated cats and dogs, they are unable to take to spiritual knowledge. Instead, they are bewildered and overcome by ignorance. Yeah, this is mine and this is for others. Thus, they are always engaged in providing necessity of life to their families in a limited conception of family life. Yeah. My dear friends, O sons of the demons, it is certain that no one bereft of knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been able to liberate himself from material bondage at any time or in any country. Rather, those bereft of knowledge of the Lord are bound by material laws. My dear friends, O sons of the demons, it is certain that no one bereft of knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been able to liberate himself from material bondage. at any time or any country. Again, you see how important this knowledge. Nobody can get free. You can see it. They can't get free from their yogi. You have that yoga friend that's in yoga. He doesn't even believe you can dissolve karma, so he's stuck in it. They don't know. You can't get free this way, that way, without knowledge, transcendental knowledge, and knowledge that comes from experienced devotees who have transcended this material world. That's the idea. Disciplic line is we have this body of knowledge that's been accumulating in the disciplic line of devotees who have made it to the spiritual world, and they leave their experience. Just like we're leaving our experience. This is very valuable according to these times, places, and circumstance. So that people can transcend. Otherwise, without this information, this knowledge applied like this, see, it's application. See, it's not by the Lord empowers his real devotees according to the time, place, and circumstance to deliver people. This is the thing. If you're not empowered, you cannot do it. You don't have the proper understanding. It's all in the time, place, and circumstance. There's all these little details, things that need to be noted. That's why you need the practical guidance of a real spiritual master. See, that they know the progressive path. See, it's not by just study of the Vedas. See, like that verse, not just by study of the Vedas, not by austerities, that one can come to the conclusive truth. See? That truth is hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized soul. One should follow that path. See, it's hidden in their hearts. They don't often just reveal it to anyone, though. They have to develop a relationship with people. That's the idea of having well-wishers and disciples. You guys wouldn't be listening here unless we had some relationship. It's usually, it would be kept hidden. Usually the acharyas hide this. It's hidden in the heart. And then they throw a bunch of rules at you. Yeah, follow the rules. Yeah, build temples. Yeah, do work for Krishna. Hidden in the heart of an unadulterated self-realized sight. So therefore, if you're going to have disciples, therefore, one should follow the progressive path of those persons. Progressive. This is a progressive thing. This is progress. You want to progress out of Vaidhi into spontaneous devotion. You have to progress like this. Here, you have practical, empowered instructions and association and family. You enter into the spiritual family here. And especially once you stop fighting, and blocking each other because, you're just so crass, really just too raw. Too offensive. That's a more neophyte. You fight when you still got this stuff too much in you. So they are factually addicted to sense gratification, and their target is woman. Indeed, they are actually playthings in the hand of an attractive woman. See, and so we are becoming playthings in the hands of attractive women also. That's Radha. See, devotion. This becomes captivating. This is our way out. Otherwise, the Lord's Maya is so strong, it's so available, it's so right there. You got billboards everywhere, and women running around, without any, clothing on, trying to capture everyone's attention. And men also, the same for the woman, the man. This is the polarizing. Yeah. So we have to get captivated by devotion. That's why this is the thing. Once you do that, you start to cool down in the world. Okay? You're not just, you see a beautiful man or woman, you know, it's cool down, because Radha cools you down. You become hot after her. You're hot after this bhakti. You long, just like people long for stuff. You watch a devotee chanting the holy name, they're longing for Krishna, longing for Radha. Okay? Instead of longing for stuff in the world, you're longing for God. This is how we transcend. This is transcendental knowledge. This is, you got to see the devotee. The devotee is transcendental knowledge personified by their activities. You see them chanting with this longing for the Lord, which is natural. This comes for everybody. When you start to get a taste for God, it's transcendental nature. See, that's Bhakti Lata Bij. That's what you get from a real guru. You get this taste, man, and then you start to long more and more for the transcendental Lord. Okay? We become attracted like that. So this is a great gift. Prabhupada said, not all disciples get Bhakti Lata Bij. That Bij is this longing, this attraction, this taste. Not all disciples get this. And he's proof of it. Bhakti Siddhanta is proof of it. A lot of the disciples didn't get, they got other Bijas, Gyan Bij and austerity Bijas. The desire, the longing to do austerities. Really, I mean, that's what they do. Desire to do austerities, desire to regulative bhakti. These are different kind of a bij. They give you that attraction. And so here you get this real. This is the Chaitanya Lila teaching of Bhakti Lata Bij. This is where you get the longing to commune with God intimately. This is not always offered because devotees don't either want it or they want other things. They have strong propensities to be for name and fame. See, so therefore this will not enter into their hearts. See, so here we're here to produce that kind of longing. Simply, the devotee, you have to be that. You have to be that kind of person. You have to worship in that way. And then those who want it, you see how many Vaidhi Bhaktis, they look at this, they're not attracted. Every day we're on Facebook, they must be saying this. Right there on Facebook, YouTube. And most they're not attracted. They're attracted to, and that's why Prabhupada and Bhakti Siddhanta preached like they did, because the masses of devotees are more attracted to a more superficial level, because that's what they can comprehend. Yeah, just give me the rules and tell me what to do, right? Isn't that like government? You need a governor. See, here, this is the next level. When the devotees are ready, and people, they will know when they're ready, you come here, you'll be governed by the transcendental Lord. That Supreme Personality of Godhead with a peacock feather will be your instructor from within. This is the whole point. Is like this kind of guru at this point is like a true priest. They marry you to Krishna. Finally, and this is not till death do you part. You never part from this Lord. Okay? This is a forever thing. It's one-way trip. One marriage, will last forever. Okay? But the Lord is that good. See, the Lord is that good. After being in this world as long as we've been, you get a taste of this, you ain't going to want to go back. You're not going to want to go back and polarize yourself. The good people against the snakes. I hate the snakes, and the snakes, I hate you, and they fight each other. You're not going to want to go back to that crap. Even snakes, you see, who is Prahlad preaching to? Isn't it? Why isn't he preaching just to the demigods? He's preaching to the sons of the demons. Isn't that interesting? people don't know, don't understand that this can be taken up by anybody. Whoever will believe in this word, I don't care. Hey man, you little demons out there, your sins, a lot of them, they think they sold their souls to Lucifer. They never get out of it. I'll tell you, my Lord will forgive you. And you will feel it. You will experience that forgiveness. You will change, have a change of heart, just like Prahlad Maharaj. If you have faith in these words, there's going to be no difference than what happened to those sons of the demons who believed in their guru and his words. There's only going to be better because of Lord Chaitanya's special mercy now. It's going to be easier. Prahlad's path was more difficult. Here, the Lord is accepting very easily and graciously anyone who will just come and hear from a real empowered, one of his real associates and real empowered devotees. The real power is here. The real order is here of Krishna and the disciplic line to deliver people. And people are already getting delivered. The biggest misfortune is not to come to check it out long enough, because it can save you so many lifetimes. Who the hell wants to take another birth? Oh my God. You know, once you get a whiff of this and you understand, you don't want to do it. You want to do this again, the families and all that, and taking care of a paralyzed guy, or who knows worse. You know, your whole life spent in burnouts and misunderstandings and people hate, you know, causing you problems. Can you imagine after that? I mean, you're done with that. Finished. Yeah. But you're not done if you don't make this kind of connection, and it's very rare. Yeah. Yeah. So anybody who has ears that hears this, you know, the Lord will be giving you those ears. Because what does Bhagavad Gita say? Krishna says, "I am the intelligence in man." So he'll, you know, you could be a demon and he'll give you that intelligence because he knows your heart of your heart, deep, deep, deep in your desire. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's always like that. When you find a bona fide guru, it's like when Jesus said, you know, "Come all ye that are, you know, troubled and burdened and all that stuff. You know, come. My yoke is easy and my burden is light." So, in other words, that's true for the guru. They have a very light yoke for themselves. What is their yoke, man? Just to relish intimacy with God and everything is well. You know, and their burden is lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. You know, and then they can carry your burden. See? So that goes for, you know, when you find such a spiritual teacher, a master, you know, like this, that they don't put a big burden on you. They don't put a big yoke. You know, yoke is you just make you do a slave over rules and regulations. That's a yoke, man. Hey, man, get up. You got to do it this way. You got to all, you know, do this every day. You know, really hard stuff and build temples and do this hard deity worship every day relentlessly. You know, and follow the programs and go follow these gurus, you know, who are, you know, often have material motives and don't treat you right and you burn out, you know, they just use you up, just, you know. See, that's a big burden. Jesus commented on the same thing. It's always the same. He said, you Pharisees, that's what you do for your followers. The burden is very heavy for them. The yoke you put on them is tough. And you don't even follow it yourselves. And that's what a lot of these gurus don't follow these things. It's just for you. It's not much different than these governors. You know, governor, they're your governors, man. What is a governor? You put your mask on. You don't go out. No Christmas for you. And they're having Christmas. I mean, the same kind of bullshit. My guru, when I was in ISKCON, said, "You eat this slop that they did with lots of sugar. They're going to put in all that shit, you know." and you get diabetes and all this fucking crap you get there, eating all that sugar in there. And, oh, it's good to eat. And he was eating pizza, and you sleep on the floor, and he's sleeping under a canopy bed. It's hypocrisy bullshit, man. You know. Okay? And they're the gurus forever. They're the gurus. Still, the God brothers. Oh yeah, and they're never. Well, he was never on the standard either. They never are. It's just a Pharisee trip. Another blind leader leading blind people. Look where it gets them. This is your result, man. You can't get in temples now. Many of them temples you can't get in unless you have your shots, man. Get your dog shots. You know, get the clot shot, man. You're gonna end up in the hospital with all these problems. You know, yeah, that's the result of following these kinds of gurus. Krishna doesn't even give the guru the intelligence, and you're following them. And so you both fall over a cliff, just like Jesus says. When one blind leader has blind followers, and they both fall over the cliff. And that's right before. That's why I preach like this now. Hey, man, wake up. All right, anybody ready to wake up? Wake up. If not, you're going over the cliff over there. They can't help you. You know, the power of the evil in this world is too strong, just like it was when Prahlad Maharaj. Nobody could help you like that, just the rule followers and the material motivated religion and Vaishnavism cannot help you. Only the purified in heart that worship on the ecstatic level can help anybody now at this point. That's why Prahlad appeared on the scene when the demoniac energy was in force and overcome the good in the world. This is why this is appearing on the scene, this path, this grace, this order. You see, this opportunity, this word. You grab onto this word, man, you're grabbing onto a worthy rope. Okay? Otherwise, you're taken down by this Maya. Okay? So if demons grab the rope, you'll get out. If demigod types, good people grab it, you'll get out too. And you'll exist together here. You'll overcome hate. See, the neophyte part here in the world, we draw both good people and bad people. Inside they're really good or really bad or little mixtures. And so they interact for a while. But after a while, you overcome that. You just live in bliss, man. You transcend desire and hate. And no hate in your heart. You're just here to help people. You give them the essence, right? You give them transcendental knowledge. Tell you, man, you get this knowledge, you're going to be so grateful. Then you're engaged in real work of the kingdom to help others get out of this Maya. Otherwise, you're just loafing in this world. Like Jesus saw the same thing Prahlad's preaching. He saw people just around loafing. They're just doing nothing important, whether with their families and just going totally in that and life and fruitive activities and making money and spend their whole life, and then they die and they do it again, and they die and they do it again. Live, that's their life is fruit, because they don't have transcendental knowledge. They haven't met a bona fide spiritual master. This is why I'm still inspired to preach basic stuff like this. Okay? Because people need to hear it. They really need to see this is practical. That's why Prabhupada wrote practical books. He didn't just do the Rasa Lila. You notice Rasa Lila like this, we're reading that devotees and he goes to Vrindavan and all. No, practical things. There's a special taste in that. It's called preaching. It's what Lord Chaitanya came to do too. Bring people out of the material world. It's wonderful. Make people happy. See, they need to hear a message like this. They need to hear the real Bhagavatam. Even Vaishnavas, you need to know that you haven't heard it yet from these gurus. Because if you really heard the real Bhagavatam, you would give up that level, that path. You would say, I'm not going to, I think, oh, wow, Gohari's offering this better deal. Look at this. I can very easily transcend this Vaidhi external worship just by hearing from hearing the deeper path, just like Lord Chaitanya taught by example. Ramananda, tell me something more than rules, regulations, and varnashram dharma. I want to know the deeper path. See, these are the messages you hear here. Okay? So then you understand. You're beginning to understand the real Bhagavatam. See, that's Bhagavatam started there. Vedavyas was unhappy listening to all his messages about or teaching the messages of Varnashram Dharma and regulative devotional service. He was like, my heart's not happy. Why is that? Well, you could do more. Listen to Narada Muni. He'll tell you something more. He's ecstatic devotee. And so he did. The Bhagavatam is what you hear here, the real confidential message. And that's why people get love of Godhead. That's why people transcend Vaidhi. You transcend that external worship. It's not attractive anymore. This is more attractive. Chanting the holy name in ecstasy and not just out of duty and regulation. And the only way to do that is you have to have this specialized transcendental knowledge. You have to know that chanting here is different than chanting with Vaidhi Bhaktas who don't have ecstatic devotion. You got to know that simple fact of life. You can transcend that level of superficial worship of Krishna simply by this association here and chanting in this association. Otherwise, you won't. You'll spend another lifetime and another more hard work and rules and heavy yokes and heavy rules and doing external worship and very superficial knowledge until you realize, Lord, please tell me, what am I doing wrong? Why is my heart not satisfied like Vedavyas? And then the Lord will send what? A real guru who is an ecstatic devotee and teaching you ecstatic teachings, transcendental teachings that lead you to the deeper platform of worship, the more juicy, the more wonderful, the transcendental platform. See, you transcend this good and bad thing of just being the level of a Brahmin. That's all, the best you can do is become like a good Brahmin. And then now you're polarized to the good side, right? And you're going to hate evil. God forbid, don't associate with demoniac people. You won't even be able to preach to them, really. Because you can't go where they are at. They're in places like Playa del Carmen, man. Having a great time, lifting up their dresses, waiting for the next guy. You won't have that kind of power to preach to anybody and everybody, or intelligence even. See? So this association is transcendental. Then you could be like Prahlad Maharaj. Aren't we preaching like Prahlad? You gotta go to anybody, whoever will listen. This is how it is for, Jesus said, I'll go anywhere where people will listen. He goes to Matthew. They're having an orgy, man. They're drinking wine and they're doing all kinds of stuff, eating meats at the tables and having a big party, and he's right there eating with them. And Peter said, hey, this is a sinful. I hate people like this. He's a tax collector. See, you hate the evil. He was more of a pious. And Jesus said, hey, man, you don't understand. Whoever will listen to me, good or bad, I'll deliver, because that's my work. That's my work here, good or bad. I don't care. You'll be delivered. You come and listen to this word long enough. You'll see I ain't lying to you. I'm telling you the truth. You will be delivered forever. You won't come back here if you have faith in this word. Like Prahlad, it's always the same. Guru is one, man. Jesus said the same thing. Prahlad said the same thing. Their followers say the same thing if they're clear. The real guru is one. They deliver you out of illusion because they're out of illusion. Otherwise, you can't. How can you deliver people out of illusion or just being a Brahmin? You see, that's why Lord Chaitanya taught these things. Yeah, a perfect Brahmin can't deliver you. They can't deliver themselves. You got to find a transcendental personality. And in our line, they chant the holy names with great ecstatic devotion. They transcend this world of hate of each other and everything, causing this world of hate and anger towards each other. No, chant the holy name. They're living in the garden again with God. Isn't that the way it is, Lolita? You're just living with God now. It's so nice. Oh yeah, thank God. I was chanting, thank you for letting me into the kingdom again. Wow. Anybody interested? You want to come with me? Anyone? You want to come with Lolita? You want to come with everybody else chanting like this? You want to go together? We go as a family, man. This is the truth, man. Lord Chaitanya, Srivasa's family is no difference between Srivasa's family and my family here. Our family. We're family members. Not my family, our family. Yeah, Lord Chaitanya, I'm telling you, everything he said to Srivasa is valid here. You know, Srivasa's whole family, and that included the tailor who ate beef, attained the Lord's pure devotional service, kingdom of God. That means wherever they could be and commune with God on a very intimate, ecstatic, wonderful level. Just like here, I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to go back to Godhead. I'm in Godhead now. I just open my mouth and the Lord is there. More and more and more. Yeah, anybody want to come on this journey with us? Yeah, and become ecstatic chanter, be encouraged, get through everything you need to get through. It's a very short time. Very good dentists here do really good work. The words of devotees, when they speak them, are under inspiration of the Lord, and they always come true. What I say, it will come true. It has already come true for those. I'm amazed I say these things myself. I would never thought I would ever say such things. This is a Jesus trip, type thing. Who am I to say such things? And the Lord says, yeah, see, you're nothing special. It's therefore I can use you. You're not trying to impress the world and impress this person and that person, by your great intelligence, austerities, or whatever it is. So, you're coming along, people coming along, and you feel it. You guys that have coming along from your heart, you feel it, right? You're on the right path. You're on a very fantastic path, the best one you ever been on, that gives you what you've never gotten before. That's how you know you're on the right path. Okay? Of course, if you're going through the preliminaries, and you're just, breaking up, see, the plowing is there too. So some devotees, they need that, and that's very good. You're on the path. Don't worry, you're going to get through it. You're going to move to another level of this, and it's going to get easier. Okay? People, they end up taking drugs or committing suicide because they can't deal with this stuff. Can't be broken up. They're suppressing it, man. That's why it's got to come out of you. These are demons. They got to come out, demoniac energies and stuff from you accumulated them for millions of lifetimes. It's coming out. So that's working. You see, we encourage devotees. I encourage you. I say, oh yeah, that's going. Oh, why am I not ecstatic like everybody? Well, you're on your level, man. Everybody went through this at some point in some lifetime. So you got to you're on the train, man. Whether you're on the caboose or towards the front of the train, what's it matter? You're on the friggin' train. You got to be on the train, man. Otherwise, you're off the train. You're lost in the Maya.
This is a train. Everybody can get on at any place. If you're back in the caboose, don't worry. You connected to the train. You know, the guru and the devotees, they look back into the caboose too, you know. It goes much quicker in the intense. I wouldn't say the yoke is lighter. Yeah. When the gradual, well, you know, yeah, the low yoke is definitely lighter because you're actually lightening up with this stuff coming out of you. You get lighter and you'll feel it. You start to feel lighter. I mean, some people can't come here with a really heavy load, you know, but anybody can come. You'll get lighter and lighter, lighter. You'll be more and more encouraged. We'll encourage you over here, and you'll see there'll be more room for bhakti, a deeper relationship with God. It's only that crap needs to come out. That's why you got to be the real empowered devotee. There you have the power to exercise this stuff out of you. See, for someone who saw the falseness of gurus in ISKCON, it's obvious to see the falseness of the current leaders. Yeah, I mean, you know, you learn by experience, you know, otherwise, you know, that's the whole point. We're learning from the experience of the Vedas too. See, these were experienced devotees and we are helpful for us. Yeah. See, victimized by such a conception of life, they become surrounded by children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren. You know, this victimization, you could see it in people consider themselves victims. You notice that? A lot of times, most people, just a victim. Okay? Or they're responsible. They fluctuate from being a victim and then they take responsibility. Oh, actually, I'm responsible. I've done this terrible things. I. Well, the modes of nature of that, you've fallen into this ocean of the modes, and it makes you feel responsible, like you have the weight of God on you. See, because you're now a little God here, and you got that big weight. You're responsible for all these things, or you're a victim. Why are they doing this to me? You know, see, back victim, responsible. Yeah. See, so this gets you out of the whole thing. No, no, the Lord is responsible, and you'll feel like He takes responsibility for you. Why? Because we're engaged. You know, the whole thing is when you work for Maya, all of a sudden you're responsible, you're a victim. Here you work for God. I'm working for the Lord, man. I'm working for the Lord's mission and desire. And what happens? He's responsible. He's responsible for me to do what I do. That's why I say I always turn the glory over to Him. I said, well, He's responsible for it. He's the one making me doing this. I mean, He's not making me. I'm willingly engaged. This is my devotion. I love this. I love letting go and letting God, man. You know, being responsible. You know, the ability to respond to His order. You know, spontaneous attraction, spontaneous service. Yeah. See, and victim, you get out of being why I'm not victimized. The Lord is taking care of everything, taking care of this person, yeah. Taking care of even my disciples. You can see He takes care of you guys. You know, I'm amazed, you know. Yeah. And I do what I can, but He's taking care of you because you're in here. You have faith in what we're doing. You feel it too. I mean, I get these reports from the devotees. They feel like God is taking care of them because He is. Because you're here, and He say, "Oh, go all right." You know, you don't have to take such responsibility. It's my job. You know, you're my mouthpiece. Just open your mouth, chant my name, enjoy yourself. Yeah. And that happens for you too. You say, well, you see, you just what I get, you get. You get the results. It's like Maharaj Prithu taught. See, this is Bhagavatam truth. He said, you who are part of my kingdom, part of the kingdom, see, of Maharaj Prithu. He was a pure devotee. He says, you share in the results that of the of this kingdom here, of because you're my subjects, you're under you're subject here, right, to my authority. Okay? You get to partake of the fruits, like you get a portion, like I get a portion. This is how it is. It's like this. I mean, you say, this is my spiritual master. You get a portion of what he gets. That's pretty good, isn't it? It's a transcendental portion. That's all I'm interested in. Give me that spirit. Give me the transcendental portion. You get a portion of that because you're part of this. You're part of the team. Okay? That's why those who leave the team, they don't get a portion of this bliss. That's their lesson. They're more or less stayed the way they were. They don't move. And you're all moving. We're all moving down the line, because we're getting portions, a transcendental portion. Shama-san, did you get your new microphone? Did you get that?
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So give us a word there, Shama-san.
About I have echo, Guru Maharaj.
Oh yeah. Let me. I'll take care of that.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, try that. See if is it better?
Hare Krishna. Yes, it is better. Yes, I got a mic. I just jump in to thank you. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for a gift. I didn't have an opportunity to figure it out how it works. I just because I was work 3 days in a row, and I also didn't sleep, and it was really intensive. But yeah, I had Krishna with me, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, 3 days ago I had a very strange dream, and it was I think 4th or 5th time in my life when I had something in common with this very demoniac energies. So it was 5th time in my life, like I really felt them as a presence. I could see something, and this kind of energy, it feels always very conscious of this, that I feel them, and they like censor my fear, and they are just present. And this one were a very strong one. So I had a dream that there is this kind of inorganic energy, it sucks the world, the souls, and it's really that it does really bad things, like destruction. So I was running away, and I was losing the people, the family members, the friends, and this energy sucked everything. But it formed itself in very bad form. So it was really scary dream. And I was running away and collecting people, the really strong people, the really conscious people who can fight this energy. And at the beginning there were a fire, and at the beginning I was alone, and these 5 people who I collected, they were sleeping, they were like dead, dead bodies. And I came to them and I shake them, and I was screaming like, Hare Krishna, remember who you are, don't sleep. And then I was just alone, they were like dead bodies, and I had to wake up. And I felt it in my room, you know. I was like kind of paralyzed. I just felt it. Oh, it was like around me, you know. And it was 2 o'clock at the morning. My boyfriend was working still, so I was alone, and I couldn't move because I felt this. So I was laying down, paralyzed, and I could only chant, you know. And I was chanting, and I was chanting your name and Hare Krishna and Radha and Chaitanya and everything, but it didn't help me, you know. Usually it helped for everything, but this energy was there, you know. It was like, ugh. But I know this energy. I know this presence. I know that maybe it's not. I want to tell you, you know, because it happens to me in my life. I had something in common with it because it's really nice to talk. Okay, there are demonic energies and this, demons are doing this and this and this. But actually, I saw them in my life. I felt them in my life. I was dreaming about this energy in my life. So I know this inorganic energies. And I don't know why they visit me, you know, 2 days ago. But it results I couldn't sleep and I had to work and it was really intense. But except this, so this is my report. This is what happened to me. But except this, I have, I experiment and I live with the holy name because when I'm busy, this is everything what I have, you know. And I was laying down today morning, I think like 3 hours in a bed because I was really tired, and it was like it was almost sleep, and it was just like, Krishna, I love you, and oh, you know, like this feeling, and then oh, Krishna, I love you, and oh, and you know, it was like this energy. So I was laying 3 hours, and I was just repeating, oh, Krishna, I love you, oh, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. His name is more tasteful, you know, and
yeah, it's amazing.
yeah. So there is intense time. I think also I need to a little bit revalue my plans of the future. I'm really happy because of harmonium because I think it will be a big part of it. And I feel still this energy which stress me, which push me. You know, like you have to achieve something very fast to be independent. You know, but actually I just want to, you know, enjoy the way and be with Krishna. But there is a lot of happening, you know, things to do, some duties, so it stresses me sometimes.
Yeah. Well, Krishna will help you.
Did you have something in common with this demoniac energies? Like, could you smell them in your life? Did you something?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
in the early, in the early 70s, before I had this conversion experience, I felt it. I felt them coming after me, actually, like the Yamadutas or something, right before I'd fall asleep. And but no more. No,
Just one?
no. Yeah, just I think during the time, the 2 years I was going through this stuff coming out, and I felt really weak and all of this. It was a weird time, and and then I had this healing that happened when I had this out of the body experience, and then I saw this vision. And after that, I felt really protected, you know, and blessed, you know, more and more and more. The only time I actually had problems is when I got off what I would say would be my path, which was part of the lesson. You know, to me, I found demoniac energies in Radha Kund. A lot of in India, you can, you know, inside the Dham, there's demons. They actually protect the Dham from the ones who are not really qualified to go in the right way. See, and so they take the shape of gurus and teachers. You know, they're like dacoits. They don't have a very even Lord Chaitanya commented on. He said there's a lot of dacoits and people that are there that are, you know, evil. You know? But that's, see, this is beyond, it's all transcendental. Shiva he protects the Dham in that way. You know, like if you don't go in the right way, and like if you have a kind of this sahaja thing, you just want to jump into the highest thing or something, and you know, you get captured by these things. You need to go in through the door. You know, the door is the real devotee, empowered devotee.
Yeah, protection is there. Protection is there. Yesterday, when I was going to sleep, I was just relaxed my body and I started to talk with Krishna because I feel his presence constantly. I swear, it's I don't know the words. How can I describe it? But the constantly presence is there. And then I started to talk to him, you know, like to thank him for this protection and for specific things which happened, because he even changed my relationship with my boss. He was kind of asshole, and then I changed, of course, my attitude. I decided myself to not stress, but I also asked Krishna for help, and it works. He's lovely since 1 week, and he's really helpful and so on. So yeah, this protection, this holy name, it's getting stronger, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, yeah. See, you get over the what do they call the threefold miseries. One of the miseries that causes us problems is miseries of other living entities. It counteracts that. All of a sudden, people's attitude changes towards you. So that's great. See, Krishna's helping you. Pray for that. He's releasing you from that misery.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, let's see here. Hare Krishna. All right. So, my dear friends, O sons of the demons. Oh, my friends, O sons of the demons, in this material world, even those who are apparently, oh yeah, mute your mic there, Shema-san. Oh, my friends, sons of the demons, in this material world, even those who are apparently advanced in education have a propensity to consider, this is my, oh, I read that, okay. Okay, my dear friends, O sons of the demons, it is certain that no one bereft of knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I read that, okay. They are factually, oh, God, I went a lot of stuff here. Okay, my dear sons. The original, okay, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, is the original Supersoul, the father of all living entities. Consequently, there is no impediments to pleasing him or worshiping him under any conditions, whether one be a child or an old man. The relationship between the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always a fact, and therefore there is no difficulty in pleasing the Lord. We're going to end the Supreme Person is a fact, and therefore, yeah, okay, yeah, definitely. Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the controller, who is infallible and indefatigable, is present in the different forms of life, from the inert living beings, such as the plants, to Brahma, the foremost created living being. He is also present in the varieties of material creations, in the material elements, in the total energy and the modes of nature, Sattva gun, Raja gun, and Tamagun, as well as the unmanifested material cause of all causes. Okay, enough of this. So, Lalita, or Shama-san, you want to read a little bit?
Let Shamasundari read if she wants to.
Yeah, do you want to read? There's Shama Sundari. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Sorry, this laptop is slow. What should I read it? Yes, I won't read.
Okay. How about Chaitanya Bhagavat?
Okay. 1 second. Chaitanya. Is this in Prabhupada's book?
No, it's not. It's yeah. Okay. What do you have? Database? What are you looking at? Database?
I have Prabhupada's book on Vaishnava library. Vedabase. I have Vedabase.
Is that what you're looking at? Database?
Yes.
No, it's not. But that's okay. Read Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's in database. Yeah.
Adi, Madhya, or Antya?
Read. Let's see here. Let me see. Let me check it out here. Hare Krishna. Yeah, the active. Read chapter 5 of the Adi Lila. I mean, of the Madhya Lila. Of Madhya Lila. It's a nice story. I like the story.
Madhya Lila?
Yeah, chapter 5.
The activities of Saksi Gopala.
Yeah. Have you read that chapter yet?
No.
Okay, you'll like it.
Okay, let me see you before I start to read last time. Okay. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Guru Maharaj, all glories to you for your patience and for what you are doing for us, and for this that you are able to content the God himself in you. Thank you a million times for what you are doing. I feel alive, and I feel God in my life, so present like never before. I'm really grateful for it. I benefits a lot. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful that although what I'm doing, you are always here on Facebook, and I can just jump in and take a shower in this bliss. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
The activities of Shakshi Gopala. Sheila, you know what I like when I used to read? I love to read when I was reading with you the last 2 years. When I was reading and you were interrupting and you were explaining, it's just wow. So if you want to interrupt me, go ahead, Guru Maharaj.
Okay. Okay. I'll make a point of it then.
Yes. Srila Bhakti Vinoda Thakura gives the following summary of the 5th chapter in his Amrita Pravaha.
Just start with the verse, just the verse.
Okay. Text 1. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Brahmaya Deva, who appeared as Shakshi Gopala to benefit a Brahmana. For 100 days he traveled through the country, walking on his own legs. Thus, his activities are wonderful. All glories to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. All glories to Sri Advaita Prabhu. And all glories to all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Walking and walking, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his party finally arrived at Jayapura on the river Vaitrarani. There he saw the temple of Varahadeva and offered his obeisance unto him. In the temple of Varahadeva, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu engaged in chanting and dancing and offered prayers. He passed that night in the temple. Afterwards, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the town of Kataka to see the temple of the witness Gopala. When he saw the deity of Gopala, he was very much pleased by his beauty. While there, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu engaged in chanting and dancing for some time, and being overwhelmed, he offered many prayers to Gopala. The night Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in the temple of Gopala, and along with all the devotees, he heard the narration of the witness Gopala with a great pleasure. Previously, when Nityananda Prabhu had toured all over India to see different places of pilgrimage, he also had come to see Shakshi Gopala at Kataka. At that time, Nityananda Prabhu had heard the story of Shakshi Gopala from the townspeople. He now recite this again, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the narration with great pleasure. Formerly at Vidyanagara in South India, there were two Brahmanas who made a long tour to see different places of pilgrimage. First of all, they visited Gaya, then Kashi, then Prayaga. Finally, with great pleasure, they came to Mathura. After reaching Mathura, they started visiting the different forests of Vrindavana and came to Govardhana Hill. They visited all 12 forests, vanas, and at last came to the town of Vrindavana. In the village of Panchakrosi Vrindavana, at the site where the Govindana temple is now situated, there was a great temple where gorgeous worship of Gopala was performed. After taking baths at different bathing places along the river Yamuna, such as Keshigata and Kaliyagata, the pilgrims visited the temple of Gopala. Afterwards, they took rest in that temple. The beauty of the Gopala deity stole away their minds, and feeling great happiness, they remained there for 2 or 4 days. One of the two Brahmanas was an old man and the other was young. The young was assisting the old man. Indeed, the young Brahmana always rendered service to the older one, and the old man, being very satisfied with his service, was pleased with him. The older man told the younger, "You have rendered various types of service to me. You have assisted me in traveling to all these places of pilgrimage. Even my own son does not render such service. By your mercy, I didn't become fatigued while on our tour. If I didn't show you any respect, I would be ungrateful. Therefore, I promise to give you my daughter in charity." The younger Brahmana replied, "My dear sir, please hear me. You are saying something very unusual. Such a thing never happens. You are a most aristocratic family man, well educated and very rich. I'm not at all aristocratic, and I'm without a decent education and have no wealth. Sir, I'm not suitable rich bridegroom for your daughter. I render service to you only for the satisfaction of Krishna. Lord Krishna is very much pleased by service rendered to Brahmanas, and when the Lord is pleased, the opulence of one's devotional service increases." The older Brahmana replied, "My dear boy, don't doubt me. I will give you my daughter in charity. I have already decided this." The younger Brahmana said, "You have a wife and sons, and you have large circle of relatives and friends. Without the consent of all your friends and relatives, it is not possible to give me your daughter in charity. Just consider the story of Queen Rukmini and her father Bhishmaka. King Bhishmaka wanted to give his daughter Rukmini in charity to Krishna, but Rukmini, his eldest son, objected. Therefore, he couldn't not carry out his decision. The elderly Brahmana said, "My daughter is my own property. If I choose to give my property to someone, who has the power to stop me? My dear boy, I will give my daughter to you in charity, and I will neglect the position of all others. Don't doubt me in this regard. Just accept my proposal." The younger Brahmana replied, "If you have decided to give your young daughter to me, then say so before the Gopala deity." Coming before Gopala, the elderly Brahmana said, "My dear Lord, please witness that I have given my daughter to this boy." Then the younger Brahmana addressed the deity, saying, "My dear Lord, you are my witness. I shall call for you to testify if it's necessary later on." After these talks, the two Brahmanas started for home. As usual, the young Brahmana accompanied the elderly Brahmana as if the older Brahmana were a guru, spiritual master, and rendered him service in various ways. After returning to Vidya Nagara, each Brahmana went to his respective home. After some time, the elderly Brahmana became very anxious. He began to think, "I have given my word to a Brahmana in a holy place, and what I promised will certainly come to pass. I must now disclose this to my wife, sons, other relatives, and friends." This one day, the elderly Brahmana called for a meeting of all his relatives and friends, and before them all he narrated what had taken place in front of Gopala. When those who belonged to his family circle heard the narration of the old Brahmana, they made exclamations showing their disappointment. They all requested that he not make such proposal again. They unanimously agreed, if you offer your daughter to degraded family, your aristocracy will be lost. When people hear of this, they will make jokes and laugh at you. The elderly Brahmana said, how can I undo the promise I made in a holy place while on pilgrimage? Whenever may happen, I must give him my daughter in charity. The relatives unanimously said, if you give your daughter to that boy, we shall give up all connection with you. Indeed, his wife and sons declared, if such a thing happens, we shall take poison and die. The elderly Brahmana said, if I do not give my daughter to the young Brahmana, he will call Sri Gopalaji as a witness. Thus he will take my daughter by force, and in that case my religion principles will become meaningless. His son replied, the deity may be witness, but he's in a distant country. How can he come to bear witness against you? Why are you so anxious over this? You do not have a flatly deny that you spoke such a thing. There is no need to make a false statement. Simply say that you don't remember what you said. If I simply say I don't remember, I shall take a rest of the rest. By argument, I shall defeat the young Brahmana. When the elderly Brahmana heard this, his name became very much agitated. Feeling helpless, he simply turned his attention to the lotus feet of Gopala. The elderly Brahmana prayed, my dear Lord Gopala, I have taken shelter of your lotus feet, and therefore I request you to please protect my religious principles from disturbance, and at the same time save my kinsmen from dying. The next day, the elderly Brahmana was thinking deeply about this matter when the young Brahmana came to his house. The young Brahmana came to his and offered respectful obeisances. Then, very humbly folding his hands, he spoke as follows. You have promised to give your daughter in charity to me. Now you don't say anything. What is your conclusion? After the young Brahmana submitted the statement, the elderly Brahmana remained silent. Taking this opportunity, his son immediately came out with a stick to strike the younger man. The son said, oh, you are most degraded. You want to marry my sister just like a dwarf who wants to catch the moon. Seeing a stick in the hand of the son, the younger Brahmana fled. The next day, however, he gathered together all the people of the village. All the people of the village then called for the elderly Brahmana and brought him to their meeting place. The young Brahmana then began to speak before them as follows. This gentleman has promised to hand over his daughter to me. Yet now he does not follow his promise. Please ask him about his behavior. All the people gathered there asked the elderly Brahmana, if you have already promised to give him your daughter in charity, why are you not fulfilling your promise? You have given your word of honor. The elderly Brahmana said, my dear friends, please hear what I have to submit. I don't exactly remember making a promise like that. When the elderly Brahmana's sons heard that, he took the opportunity to juggle some words. Becoming very impudent, he stood before the assembly and spoke as follows. While touring various holy places of pilgrimage, my father carried much money. Seeing the money, this rock decided to take it away. There was no one besides this man with my father. Giving him an intoxicant known as dutura to eat, this rock made my father mad. Having taken all my father's money, this rock claimed that it was taken by some thief. Now he's claiming that my father has promised to him his daughter in charity. All of you assembled here are gentlemen. Please judge whenever it is befitting to offer his poor Brahmana, my father's daughter. Hearing all the statements, all the people gathered there become a little doubtful. They thought in quiet possible that because of attraction for riches, one may give up his religious principles. At that time, the young Brahmana said, "My dear gentlemen, please hear. Just to gain a victory in an argument, this man is lying. Being very satisfied with my service, this Brahmana said to me of his own accord, I promise to hand over my daughter to you. At that time, I forbade him to do this, telling him, Oh, best of Brahmanas, I am not a fit husband for your daughter. Whereas you are a learned scholar, a rich man belonging to an aristocratic family, I am a poor man, uneducated and with no claim to aristocracy. Still this Brahmana insisted. Again and again he asked me to accept his proposal, saying, I have given you my daughter, please accept her. I then said, please hear, you are a learned Brahmana. Your wife, friends and relatives will never agree to this proposal. My dear sir, you will not be able to fulfill your promise. Your promise will be broken. Yet again and again the Brahmana emphasized his promise. I have offered you my daughter. Don't hesitate. She's my daughter, and I shall give her to you. Who can forbid it me? At that time, I concentrated my mind and requested the Brahmana to make that promise before the Gopala deity. Then this gentleman said in front of Gopala deity, My dear Lord, please bear witness. I have offered my daughter to this Brahmana in charity. Accepting the Gopala deity as my witness, I then submitted the following at his lotus feet. Now show must go on. In this Brahmana later hesitates to give me his daughter. My dear Lord, I shall call on you a witness. Please note this with care and attention. Thus have I called upon a great personality in this transaction. I have asked the Supreme Godhead to be my witness. The entire world accepts the words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Taking this opportunity, the elderly Brahmana immediately confirmed that this was really true. He said, if Gopala personally comes here to serve as witness, I shall surely give my daughter to the young Brahmana. The elderly Brahmana thought, since Lord Krishna is very merciful, he will certainly come to prove my statement. The atheistic son thought, it is not possible that for Gopala to come and bear witness. Thinking thus, the father and son agreed. The young Brahmana took this opportunity to speak. Please write this down on paper in black and white so that you may not again change your words of honor. All the assembled people got the statement down in black and white, and taking the signatures of agreement from both of them served as the mediators. The young Brahmana then said, "Will all you gentlemen present please hear me? This elderly Brahmana is certainly truthful and is following religious principle. He had no desire to break his promise, but fearing that his kinsman would commit suicide, he deviated from the truth. By the pity of the elderly Brahman, I shall call the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a witness. Thus I shall keep his truthful promise intact." Hearing the emphatic statement of the younger Brahmana, some atheists in that meeting began to cut jokes. However, some else said, "After all, the Lord is merciful, and if he likes, he can come." After the meeting, the young Brahmana started for Vrindavana. Upon arriving there, he first offered his respectful obeisance to the deity and there narrated everything in full detail. He said, "My Lord, you are the protector of Brahminical culture and you are also very merciful. Therefore, kindly show your great mercy by protecting the religion principles of us two Brahmanas. My dear Lord, I'm not thinking to become happy by getting the daughter as a bridge. I'm simply thinking that the Brahmana has broken his promise and this is giving me great pain." The young Brahmana
You know what I like about this moral of the story here is the Lord makes a way. You know, the Lord makes a way. Both the Brahmanas were faithful in, even the one that he didn't want to lie. He didn't want to do that, but he's just saying, I don't want my family to die, so you make a way for me. And that's what God does. He's the only one who makes a way. He makes a way for the devotees. That's what I'm always amazed. He makes a way. It's because a way that can't be understood by people. Yeah, have you noticed that? He makes a way. He's made a way for us to go back to the kingdom of God. See? He makes a way, and he's yeah. So anyway, that's what I see in this story. It's very kind of one of these important points. Yeah. Yeah. So go ahead.
I'm simply thinking that the Brahmana has broken his promise and this is giving me a great pain. The young Brahmana continued, "My dear sir, you are very merciful and you know everything. Therefore, kindly be a witness in this case. A person who knows things as they are and still does not bear witness becomes involved in sinful activities." Lord Krishna replied.
That's like Saint Paul when he said, "There's no blood on my hands because I'm witness that Jesus came." See? Jesus came, and this is important for the world to know. Otherwise, people will, they will die if they don't at least hear it. So he said, "There's no blood on my hands because I'm a witness for the saving grace of the Lord." See, so that's how he felt responsible like that. Hey, the Lord saved me. Lord Chaitanya taught the same thing. He said, hey, I came here to give bhakti. I came here to give my association, give here these teachings and these truths, So share them with people in the world so that they can be delivered. Otherwise, there's no deliverance. So devotees feel responsibility to take this to the world and offer it. See, and so we're a witness to the mercy of the Lord. You notice? You're a witness to the mercy of your Guru. I'm a witness to the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and his devotees. And so we witness. That's why I witness the way this is a witness and you're a witness. And this is what we do. Yeah. Otherwise people don't know. They don't know this. People are dying, Invitee bhaktas are going to take another birth simply because they don't hear this. They may not want to hear this, but hey man, I'm a witness for the mercy of the Lord. I'm a witness that you can be delivered here. I'm a witness for Prabhupada coming in that dream and saying people will be delivered, and Krishna coming and saying, hey, I will give them what they want if they come here the right way, in the way that I'm empowering. See? So it's about being a witness. Otherwise, in a sense, we're involved in sinful activities. See? By allowing people to go to their deaths. I mean, you at least got to try something, see? And just witness. Just witness, stand up. What do you stand for in this world? And you'll feel life. Isn't that? I don't feel life if I'm not standing up for what I believe and sharing. Even people in the world, they stand up for what the Lord has given them, whatever that is. They feel more life. Even the demigods, they're standing up for what they believe and they're inspired. The demons, they standing up too, what they believe. They think this is Lucifer's time, and they feel enlivened. Everybody. So what is your role in this play? See? Otherwise, it's like you'll feel that you lackluster, lack life. Wow. So this is, you ever notice? And I notice going on Sankirtan is the same thing. There's more, when you're standing up for what you believe before the public. That's basically Lord Chaitanya. He knew something. He knew something that others didn't know, and he shared that truth, even though it was unpopular. At first, people didn't know. And it's the same thing in your preaching, too. You preach about, hey, you know something that other people don't know. And they won't know it unless you stand up for it, unless you share it. That goes for all of you. And that's where the strength comes. That's where you'll feel the life. This is what Prabhupada said. If you have life, preach. If not, go to the Dham and try to get some strength, But the real strength is understanding. The real strength is in these books. The real strength is in these truths. See, that's what I found. That's why I stand up for that. I don't need to go to Vrindavan. I don't need to go to the temple. I just need to hear the truth, stand up for the truth, listen to the truth, talk about truth, chant the holy name in ecstasy right before the public. Even though hey, what are you doing? Hey, man, this is real. This is the truth, man. Hey, man, this is where you're going to get it. You come in this door, you're going to get ecstasy. You're going to be delivered in this life even. That's truth, man. No blood on my hands. I don't want any. Well, there's still probably some blood, but I'm going to get less off of it. Get more blood off of my hands. And I know the truth. I'm standing up for it. Because otherwise people are going to their deaths, right? These Vaidhi Bhaktas, they're going to die. Look, they're going to get their shots now. What, am I going to keep my mouth shut now and not just tell them, hey, man, come here. You can get shelter. And same, so we work together like that. Go ahead there.
I would like to add something to this, if I may.
Yes.
I was months in Germany here, just alone in home, without any company and job and anything. And I was praying for, I just wanted to have a girlfriend, on here that I can meet physically, but I wanted her to be very special, And I met one, and this kind of girl, we are meeting, and it feels like soul meets soul, She's holding my hand. She looks into my eyes. It's amazing. And I talk to her about Krishna, and I always empathize that I am so happy, and so everything what I am is because of Krishna, because of this relation. It comes from this relation, this strength, this everything. And she's looking into my eyes, holding my hands. We are so, there is nothing material in our hands. We are like soul to soul. Okay, we are always excited to meet ourselves. She's here, and she's saying to me, when I talk about Krishna and this all relationships and about you and everything, she's talking to me that this is her natural state, you know. She never needs to, she's 23, she never take drugs or alcohol or anything. She said, this is my natural state, you know, to be with God. She's so smart and advanced and empathic. So this kind of person came to my life. My another friends, girlfriends from Poland, she also lately transformed and went through many bullshit, you know. And I also talk to her, always empathize that everything what I have in life and how I go through stuff is because of God. And she is starting to, you know, to listen. She's creating space for me. She respects, and she also go in this direction, you know. She takes in advance that this is a true from impersonalistic energy, and this all of the universum supports me. She goes also in this direction on my eyes. And in my yoga community where I teach yoga, I also bravely talk about Krishna and I sing mantras and so on. And I also purifies this year, and I also empathize in front of my boyfriend that Krishna and God is very important for me. And I mention him a lot. And this, all what I'm sharing right now, it means that, this makes me possible to hold Krishna, you know, in every situations. So I'm not anymore like Krishna is only here and then I go and I have to pretend. I feel myself more me, you know, more with my Lord in every room. And it feels so good. And with people who don't want hear, I'm not, you know, now I have my friends, now I have my family, now I have my acceptance, and I feel more brave, more supported, and we are together, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's otherwise you're. Yeah. Exactly. It's like that. Yeah. The more you can integrate like that, it's great. Great. Awesome.
Yeah, but it was a process. It's happening with time. It's not like.
Yeah. I also, it's the same thing here. You know, not a lot of people will accept, but I'm doing more of that too. I'm just blatantly telling people, you know, hey, this is what I'm into, and showing it. And there are a lot of them are kind of getting into it. You know, they get into it. It's like, oh, really? You're really into? Yeah. I said, yeah, this is my thing. This is what I'm into. Or they're not interested, or at least to find out where people are at. You know, and you don't have to spend too much time with them. Oh, you don't like Kira? Okay. Fine.
Also,
We don't hear you anymore, Shama.
Oh yeah, you're
We don't hear you anymore.
You might have to refresh there, Shama. I don't know. Why don't you try refreshing?
I'm not
go off
taking
and come
response.
on. Oh, there we go. It's coming again.
Can you some interruptions?
Try it. Yeah. It's working now. It's working. Oops. So probably come back now. Yeah, standing up. So this is a time to do it more. You know, it's great. Yeah. It's nice to be yourself. I mean, that's what Lord Chaitanya. He was just basically being more himself, you know, and you know, he was just a Vrindavan type person, you know, from the spiritual world, and he just started to do that here. Yeah. So I know I'm feeling better. You know, look, we got a little family. Yeah. Go ahead there, Shama.
Lord Krishna replied, my dear Brahmana, go back to your home and call a meeting of all the men. In that meeting, just try to remember me. I shall certainly appear there, and at that time I shall protect the honor of both you, Brahmanas, by bearing witness to the promise. The young Brahmana replied, my dear sir, even if you appear there as a four-handed Vishnu deity, Still, none of those people will believe in your words. Only if you go there in this form of Gopala and speak the words from your beautiful face will your testimony be heard by all the people. Lord Krishna said, I've never heard of a deity walking from one place to another. My dear Lord, you are not a statue. You are directly the son of Maharaja Nanda. Now, for the sake of the old Brahmana, you can do something you have never done before. Sri Gopalaji then smiled and said, My dear Brahmana, just listen to me. I shall walk behind you, and in this way I shall go with you. The Lord continued, Don't try to see me by turning around. As soon as you see me, I shall remain stationary in that very place. You will know that I'm walking behind you by the sound of my ankle bells. Cook 1 kilo of rice. Yes?
These are beautiful stories, isn't it? It's a beautiful story. And if you go deeper into the story, you'll see that this is how the Lord works. You don't have to see that it's the devotee there, and then Gopal does this miracle, and he starts, the deity is walking there behind, and then he shows, see everything. Wow, this is like, oh, you see, Jesus, he was a virgin birth, so therefore believe there is a God. Now, you want to know how it really, what it's the real meaning, the deep meaning is. This is what the Lord, Gopal bears witness. He's in the heart of the devotee, and when he's actively preaching, he fulfills the promise. Just like here, I'm witnessing for Gopal. I'm witnessing for Prabhupada. I'm witnessing for the disciplic line. I say, this is truthful. You come here, you believe these words. As the Lord is my witness. He came, and you'll see that people will get love of God here. They will make spiritual advancement. They will be increasingly free of their troubles. See? So I'm a witness. See? Well, I'm one witness, and the Lord is the other. And the Lord makes true on the promise of the devotees. See, if you're not really connected with this transcendental Lord, that doesn't happen. They're false promises, empty words. This is the idea. That's why I'm coming down on the gurus now. Hey man, you say you represent Gopal, that you represent Radha and Krishna Vrindavan, you're Guru Dev, you have disciples, they're depending on you to be delivered, and your words are not coming true, man. Hey man, you're lying. See? You need to find the real witness, who witnesses. See, and the Lord will witness for them. This is what Jesus taught. He came with a message, God's real message, and God made it true on his promise. He gave the Holy Spirit for those who believed in his word and not the words of liars. Who is your God? It comes down to, who is your God? Is your God Fauci's and Fucci's and Bill Gates's and Radhanath's? Do you see any fulfillment of promise of Radhanath's? Does he deliver his disciples? How about Jayapataka? Has he delivered anybody? He's representing Vrindavan, yes or no? All I see is they're lining you up for shots. You can't even get into the temple unless you get the death shot, the death nail. What kind of deliverance is this? It's bullshit. It's a lie. You're following liars and lies and deceits and all of that. You're following the world. The world has infiltrated the temples and religion. It's the great falling away talked about. You come here, you get shelter here. You'll feel God's grace, just like Shamananda, Shamasundari, and others. You'll feel the Lord's grace here because he makes true. I'm a witness for the Lord's witness. And he'll come here and make true on his promise. He will give you protection. Otherwise, people are not getting it out there. It's time to, hey, let me just point it out, man. You can't even go to the temple unless you're ready to go to get slaughtered. What kind of worship is this? I am against that. The Lord is against that kind. They're misrepresenting the true Lord. And it's time for that people to know. You're not representing the real disciplic line. The real disciplic line gives transcendental shelter to people that come into it. You connect to the real line now at this time especially. You'll feel the transcendental grace of God. And the real line is here. Yeah, the Lord will be the witness. He'll come and make good on the promise here given. That's why Krishna said, Arjuna, you say it. You say it. And he'll deliver. And so that's why it works here. Because it's said here, and therefore the Lord delivers that shelter that you experience here. And that's not shelter out there. People, you can't even go into the temple. They close the temples. Shows you the shelter isn't there. Yeah. You need the real shelter. Those who get the shelter of the Spirit, this is a spiritual thing. You got to spiritually worship God. This is the only thing that's being offered if you want deliverance. Material is material, This is spiritual. This is the worship and the Lord of the Spirit. The Spirit is being given. Lord Chaitanya came to this planet to give the Spirit. Jesus came to give the Spirit, man. And now the Spirit is being offered again, not mundane material varnashram worship. Worship of the Spirit. Look, they're closing down the temples. You got to be you got to go there to die. You want to go there to die? Here, look at this. People can come here and live, and you don't even have to go to the temple. Can you imagine? I never met Shama Sundar. How come you're telling me you have the shelter of Krishna? I never even met you personally. You must be getting some kind of special thing. So anyway, this is the way this is working. See, the Lord witnesses for his real devotees that their word is true. He didn't lie to them. The Brahmin did give his daughter in marriage, So, but people see that if you look into the more of the story, who did they believe? They believed at first. The people weren't sure. They believed in the guy who was lying. You see, they believe in the liars. They're very tricky, and this is people who lie. So if you believe in lies, you get the result of lies. See, so that's why ultimately you have to believe in the real devotees of the Lord, because he makes true on what they say. Ultimately, that's the way it works. You believe in the world and the worldly people and the snake. That's why you see how Adam and Eve lost the kingdom? They believed in the snake, the liar. See, so you got to find the real devotees because they speak on behalf of the Lord, and their word is true. See, their word gives you the truth. See, so anyway, that's okay. Go ahead. Is she frozen or what? You frozen? Is she frozen?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, maybe she'll unfreeze. Let's see. Maybe she fell asleep. There it is. Okay, go ahead. You're back.
Yes,
you're back.
According to the mercy which I'm getting, your words, the words you speak, they feel like not from this world, and they are not from this world. I feel the substance, are coming from my ears. I literally feel it, and I know how it sounds, and I know that with material people, they will think, okay, you are in La La Land,
Yeah.
But it feels like really like this, and yeah.
That's how you're delivered. You have faith in the word of transcendental word of the Guru. They're not material words. They cause a spiritual result, a spiritual awakening, a spiritual shelter. The awakening of the spiritual body. That's how people get the Holy Spirit with Jesus. They believed in his word, that it's true. The promises, that were made, that you will get the Spirit. And that's how it works. It's always worked like that. You can understand transcendental knowledge that people can't understand. That's the whole point. People don't believe in this. They don't believe. When I go out there in the world, generally people don't have faith in this word, in this preaching. They don't get the shelter, and they stay absorbed in their lives, in their mundane lives. See? So that's the secret, is ultimately you believe in the activities and the words of real devotees. Yeah, and so it goes really fast, because a lot of people, they believe in it's kind of a mixed bag. In the Vaidhi level, they believe in the acharyas, they believe in the books, they believe in Krishna, right? But their leaders often are corrupt. See, and you can't get above into the spiritual dimension, because your living gurus and living leaders are corrupted. That's why ultimately you got to find the real guru, and they liberate you from bad association. Just like chapter 1, if you really examine chapter 1 of Adi Leela, it's all in there. What the guru does, they teach you how to be protected from unfavorable association that keeps you down, keeps your consciousness down.
I feel intimacy with God.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and ultimately, you see how Krishna pulled you out of the association, even with your previous guru, because it was holding you back from going deeper. See, because of that level, it's a level of consciousness. See, and so you pulled up to the next platform. He can't go because he doesn't have faith. He doesn't have his austerities, and everything he's doing has not borne the fruit of faith in a transcendental empowered person yet, living person. See? And so that's why, Krishna says, if you can't worship me with love, then go follow the rules and regulations and develop a desire to attain me. And then when you develop that desire, then the Lord sends the guru, and then you get Krishna. It's a process. It's spelled out by the previous acharyas. It worked then, and it always works, and it'll work now, and it'll work in the future. This is the whole thing to get across for those who are I just standing as a witness that this works, and you're even more so, because that's what you're doing, literally. You believe in these words that are coming across into your consciousness, and you're saying, yeah, they're substantial. I feel the shelter of the Lord in this association. Okay? So that's it. And then people are, oh, really? This is a real path? Yes. That's what's in a book, and you just stick their nose in the book, and they can start to see it. Oh, really? How come my guru didn't show me that? Well, he doesn't know himself. He needs to also follow the same path. He's teaching. He's like a little child trying to play doctor. They're not real doctors. These aren't real gurus. Come on, wake up. They're leading you into your death nail. They won't even let you. They're afraid of some invisible virus. What kind of strength do they have? It's all made up, everything. And they're falling for the worldly stuff. They don't have spiritual consciousness. They're not protected by Krishna. They can't do that. So anyway, a lot of people got to realize, that's why I don't know. Yeah, you come here, you'll learn the real Bhagavatam. You'll understand what a real guru is. You'll see the real result of following one. You'll experience all these things. You'll have transcendental experiences, spiritual awakenings, encounters with God, a whole ball of friggin' wax here. Everything you've been dreaming about will happen here. The fairy tale that's not a fairy tale. Well, fairy tale ending, you'll live happily ever after forever. That's what's being given here. See, and the only thing keeping people out is their faith in people that are liars and cheaters and deceivers. These gurus, they're lying to you. I don't care how well-intentioned they are. They're liars if they take the name guru and representing Radha and Krishna Vrindavan. How dare you do that if you can't deliver the result of giving real progress to your disciples? Okay. Or you hold them back from making progress here. Right now, we're here to deliver people. This message has to go out now. We're here to deliver. Everybody should hear it, And otherwise, I'm not a witness for the truth, man. I got to be the witness for the truth, man. Deliverance is here in this Sangha. You don't want to be delivered? Okay, well, then stay out there. Go follow those hypocrites and liars and cheaters. And as I say, I don't care how good they are. You're not good enough if you say, I represent Vrindavan and, oh, Gurudev, deliver me. If you can't deliver them, you're a liar. You're a cheater. It's subtle, isn't it? You see how subtle it is? They're saying, I represent you. You're taking the deed, man. You put the friggin' dhoti on, man. You got the sannyas uniform on. You got the name, His Holiness. His grace. Where is the grace coming? Where is the transcendental potency coming to deliver your disciple like here? If not, step aside. We'll do the job. For those who really want Krishna and deliverance. You want deliverance? Come here, check it out. Spend 30 days and see. See that you'll understand the real Bhagavatam finally. The real word. His holy less. His holy less. His holy ass. Yeah, his holy ass. His holy ass. Just an ass. You're just a friggin' donkey doing this shit, man. How dare you? You think even the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not worship friggin' idols. Idol is not transcendental. The real guru is, and they prove it. Their word is spiritual, causes a spiritual result, the awakening of the spiritual body in people, just like Lord Chaitanya said. The real initiation is the awakening of your spiritual body. It's time for that now. No time to mess around, man, with his holy asses or his holy lesses. I ain't afraid of these guys. I ain't afraid. What is the offense? Krishna is saying, thank you, Gohari Das, for pointing out the truth and not being afraid of his holy lesses and his holy asses. You're just a donkey to me if you're not a real guru. You're an idiot, fool, number one. If you can't deliver your disciple like we do here, get out of the way. Blocking the way to the kingdom. Isn't that what Jesus said? Why shouldn't I say it too? Huh? They were blocking the way then, these holy asses. Then, what do they call them? Phariseers who couldn't see. Blind leaders, man. You blind leaders, get out of the way now. We're here to deliver people. Stop, go in the kingdom of your God yourself, or get out of the way, man. We're here to deliver people. Get them through the birth canal. Get them born again, man. Feel the real devotion of Radha. Not nada. Come here, we'll give you nada. Nothing. But hypocrisy and lies, and that you're a real guru. I'm never into God. You think God is into idol worship? You think my Lord likes idol worship? No way. It's even in the 10 Commandments. Wait, you put yourself on the altar. Are you a transcendental person, man? Do you feel intimacy with God? Do you cry in ecstasy like Lord Chaitanya did when he worshiped the Lord? No? Well, what kind of guru are you? What kind of his holy ass are you? What, is this offensive to speak the truth like this? No, it's a great service to the world. My goodness, everybody's afraid of his holy asses. What, you're not, if you're transcendental, you laugh. If you're transcendental, you say, go hard, thank you for standing up for the truth like that. But they won't do it because they're his holy assholes.
Yeah, I think best proof is this what you are always emphasize, Guru, the fruits of their work. Those all devotees who are fearful, who are depressed, who are talking these strange things, you know, and
yeah,
this is the proof.
yeah.
How they mixed, divided.
Yeah, yeah. And proof is, this is, people think, oh, you should, so offensive. Yeah. Well, why does the chanting keep getting better then if it's so offensive? To remove obstacles. I'm here to remove obstacles, and I got a big friggin' goal here. I want to get everybody into the friggin' kingdom, even these friggin' gurus, man. Yeah, I gotta kind of like really do what Lord Chaitanya did and chastise the biggest frauds of them all, Devananda Pandits. Wasn't he a fraud? He was a fraud, man. You know, and everybody believed in the fraud. And I say, don't believe in frauds. It's like my Lord. He empowers me to say the same thing that he did. They're frauds, man. He couldn't deliver his disciple. He didn't like devotion, just like they don't like. They didn't like this. Radhanath didn't like this devotion. He told I was not, Gaur Hari Das is not in a disciplic line. Well, hell with you, man. It ain't true. And people who believe you, they don't get delivered. And the same thing with Narayan Raj. Oh, don't Gaur Hari, he ain't bona fide, man. Come to me. Oh, really? And look at my ex-wife now. Look at where she is. Outside the disciplic line and miserable. But my students, they get delivered because I got it right now. I got clear on the bullshit going on in the Maya here. And when you get over fear here, because first you'll feel the fear. How can you do? Oh, I'm afraid. I said, yeah, I ain't afraid. When you come here and your fear will go. You'll get real love of God, man, and the power to deliver people out of that association. Whoever will believe these. See, now it's like, who do you believe? You want to believe where love of God is awakening in association like this, or you want to believe where it isn't? You want to believe they're hypocritical and lying words? I don't care how many tears. I just want to help you, Mr. Humble Pie, man. Yes, but don't believe in where people are being delivered there. That comes from Mr. Humble Pie himself. Don't believe in Go Hari, go away, and that disciple is still in Maya because of that word of Radhanath. See, Radhanath, Natha, nada. Is nada to me. What, you mislead my disciple? I'm going to get on your case. You know, I'm here. People, you know, if he would have had faith, but because he believes these false authorities, they're false, man. I know. I tried to accept. I seen what happens. I seen how I fell down by believing in their word. Their word is bullshit, man. Lies. See? All the way up. That's called religion, right? I abandon religion, man. I'll help you abandon religion too. You want to chant in ecstasy like I do and like Lalita does? You don't see her running away from these words. Do you like these words? Are they okay? Yeah. It's a picture of a farting guru. Yeah. Anyway, it's the Lord's Maya, man. You know, it's just shadow boxing. That's all. You know, he does it. It's his shadow, right? He gives the power to the sun that he has. He can do what he wants. It's his Maya. It's just illusion, man. The whole problem why people are in fear, they believe in illusion. You want to get out, just believe in the truth that it's a lie. This is conclusive, man. If you're not a real guru delivers their disciples literally. If you don't do that, you're not a real guru. See, I just point out the lie, you know, with emphasis in what do you call magnification. Clarification. So yeah, hey man, either do the job, either you're empowered by the anointed by the Lord or not. Oop, we lost Shama. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Shama. Read on. I think you're muted again.
So back to the story.
Yes, back to the story.
So Krishna is saying further, cook 1 kilo of rice daily and offer it. I shall eat that rice and follow behind you. The next day, the Brahmana begged permission from Gopala and started for his country. Gopala followed him, step by step. While Gopala followed the young Brahmana, the tinkling sound of his ankle bells could be heard. The Brahmana became very pleased and he cooked first-class rice for Gopala to eat. The young Brahmana walked and walked in this way until he eventually arrived in his own country. When he neared his own village, he began to think as follows: I have now come to my village, and I shall go to my home and tell all the people that the witness has arrived. The Brahmana then began to think that if the people didn't directly see the Gopala deity, they would not believe that he had arrived. But even if Gopala stays here, he thought, there is still nothing to fear. Thinking this, the Brahmana turned to look back. He saw that Gopala, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was standing there smiling. The Lord told the Brahmana, now you can go home and I shall stay here and shall not leave. The young Brahmana then went to the town and informed all the people about Gopala's arrival. Hearing this, the people were struck with wonder. All the townspeople went to see the witness Gopala, and when they saw the Lord actually standing there, they all offered their respectful obeisances. When the people arrived, they were very pleased to see the beauty of Gopala, and when they heard that he had actually walked there, they were all surprised. Then the elderly Brahmana.
Yeah. So again, this is all to do with seeing the deity. This is all external. See, but the internal thing is the devotee brings the real Lord. See, and then people see the real Lord. That's the big miracle. Here, the devotee, they just say, hey man, this is the truth. And whoever believes, if you come and you hear transcendental knowledge and you come to develop a faith in it, faith in the word of the devotees, then you will see the witness Gopal. You'll see, Gopal exists. Your spiritual senses are awakened and the Lord is interacting with you in the life. It's really true. See, this is a disciplic line, and then people will listen to you. Right now, they're in the world. They believe in the world, in worldly people, and with material motives and material desires. Right? They believe in their word. They don't know that. Oh, let me believe in the word of a devotee who has this relationship with God. It's actually real and tangible. See, but when you believe in the devotee's word, the witness will come to you. That witness in your heart you'll become aware. He's the witness, right? Witness Gopal. Isn't he witnessing? He's silently witnessing everywhere. Mm-hmm. See, now you're speaking on his behalf. See, and the witness will witness to you. You'll get, you become a witness. Isn't that what Jesus said? You'll become my witnesses. Yeah, that's all I'm doing is witnessing. That's what you're doing now too, because you're getting real encounters with the Lord. You're doing what these Vidis can't do. They can't witness for the true Lord. They can't witness about what God is really doing in their lives. It's all still external stuff because their gurus are external and they're external. Their blind leaders are blind followers, right? That's why I say you come here, you're going to start getting encounters with God. Come listen to this word. Come see that people are getting encounters with God. That witness Gopal is showing that he's real for them. And it could be real for anybody who comes and believes in the words of real devotees here. You're getting the power to do the same thing. You notice? Isn't it amazing? You know, this is a disciplic line, a real disciplic line. You know, what do you think? If you met a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, say 550 years ago, that the Lord would come to you. You would get encounter with that transcendental Lord. Then you would become a witness. Yeah. I came through my guru, man. My guru gave me Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. I feel a relationship with them. See? That's it. And then you become guru. You mature into the point and you become and say, yeah, by coming this way, just have faith in my words. I went through the door. I'm now a shepherd of the sheep. See, I went through the door. The door is the guru, man. You go through the door and then you become the shepherd of the sheep. You teach them the right way to go. See, and you more so because I came in with this, and so I just was stimulated just by a little reading. All I have to do is chant the mantra, read the book, and boom, you know. So it was easier. But you guys show the real process that real people got to do to get real progress now. See, so you know, you're the real witnesses. Yeah, it works. I listened to Gohari's crazy words and, you know, saying all these promises and all this stuff. And yeah, I'm having encounters with the Lord. See, the Lord is the showing, the witness. He's witnessing everybody, but they're not aware of his witness, right? Now you're aware of the witness. Okay, and that witness, isn't that witness? He's in the jury, you know, the witnesses and all this witnessing. He's freeing you from all this stuff, man. Your karmas and all that. See, you're getting good witnesses. All right, go ahead. Read on. Finish up.
Then the elderly Brahmana, being very pleased, came forward and immediately fell like a stick in front of Gopala. Thus, in the presence of all the townspeople, Lord Gopala bore witness that the elderly Brahmana had offered his daughter in charity to the young Brahmana. After the marriage ceremony was performed, the Lord informed both Brahmanas, "You two Brahmanas are my eternal servants, birth after birth." The Lord continued, "I have become very pleased by the truthfulness of you both. Now you can ask for a benediction." Thus, with great pleasure, the two Brahmanas begged for a benediction. The Brahmana said, "Please remain here so that people all over the world will know how merciful you are to your servants." Lord Gopala stayed, and the two Brahmanas...
Yeah, you know, that's another thing. See the hello? Yeah, you know, so the Lord does it. See, he uses the devotee and he witnesses too. You see, you get both in this. Both are important, not just the empty shell. That's why, hey, if a person is witnessing, see, they're witnessing, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a guru, I'm a leader, or I'm this, I'm a Brahmin, and all that," and they're talking and talking. Yeah, I represent Vrindavan, but the witness doesn't come. The Lord of Vrindavan doesn't come to you. Okay? You got to find the real devotee, because then the Lord, the witness Gopal, will come to you and say, "Yeah, it's really true. He's my devotee, man. You see? I make his words true. He makes the words of a real devotee true." That's why he made the words of Jesus Christ true. The Holy Spirit came, right? Said it first. You notice? Jesus said it. God didn't just say it first, Jesus declared it when it came. Okay? The words of the Lord's real devotees come true. That's why we work together as a team here. You guys are witnesses that these words are not empty. They come true. Okay? And that's how people will get delivered. We're here. I mean, what is our job here? Just to deliver people, isn't it? Isn't it that simple truth? So that they can get the witness, Gopal, awakened in them, and the witness. Yeah, this is the way to go. This is the real truth. This is the real path taught here in this Sangha. It's not really in those Sanghas. They're not teaching because they don't do the job. The witness Gopal in the Narayan Raj. Have you seen anybody in the Narayan Raj group yet that's here that you could say, yeah, witness Gopal is unto them? They don't, the witness hasn't come yet. Or in any group, in ISKCON. Yeah. More so with that friend of, with Shama Sundari, more so the Lord draweth into some person like that lady, her friend over there. She said, yeah, she says, see, the Gopal is saying, yeah, the Lord is with me. I feel the same way.
Natural state.
See, and if she wants to learn about transcendental mellows, this is the continuation. She'll perfect your bhakti by learning these things from the Vedas. It's not just, okay, the Lord is there if you want, or you can take advantage of learning about transcendental mellows, learning about this Maya, how it works on all its intricacies. Why not, Go ahead.
Lord, the Brahmana said, please remain here so that people all over... Yes,
sometimes please for a few seconds, Guru Maharaj, and you come back. Just for a few seconds.
Okay.
The Brahmana said, please remain here.
All right, go ahead and finish.
So that people all over the world will know how merciful you are to your servants. Lord Gopala stayed. And the two Brahmanas engaged in his service. After hearing of the incident, many people from different countries began to come to see Gopala. Eventually, the king of that country heard this wonderful story, and he also came to see Gopala and thus become very satisfied. The king constructed a nice temple and regular service was executed. Yes?
One of our missions, part of the mission here is so people can learn what is the real path, so that when people come here to teach it, the Lord will send people, you'll be able to recognize them and discern them from those who are not really bona fide, those who are not really purified. That's basically it. As you can see, what is the real thing? Where is the real God manifesting? See, the real transcendental Lord. Well, he's manifesting with his real devotees. See, this needs to get increasingly clear in the world. See? Because we need this witness. We need that Lord to become manifest in our lives. Otherwise, we're not whole. We're not whole. We won't be really happy. We'll be chasing after shadows again and again and again. This is deliverance forever. And it's the Lord and the devotees working together. You see, we have to work as a team in that way. We work as a team here in this thing, and as a team from within and out. The devotee preaching outside, and those who believe in their association and come into it, they start to get encounters with that Gopal, that transcendental Lord who's the witness. See, he'll witness that, oh yeah, my devotees word are true. You come in this way, this is the right way. This is the real way. See, this is why when even the Christians get clear, they say, oh, Gohar, you're worshiping a false God. It's not, no, it's the real God because it works. The real guru principle works. People get love of God here, probably even more so than listening to you because we have more knowledge, see, more information about the kingdom of God and get really clear about what is a guru and all this stuff. This stuff is it's not revealed in the little Bible there.
No.
Son, Jesus said he had more to tell you. And so anyway, Lord Chaitanya came. What, you don't believe in the latest incarnation? Well, that's your loss. Can you imagine? God is God, isn't he? He comes, he comes through through Jesus and Moses and teaches certain things. And then he came as Lord Chaitanya,
Krishna.
which is the reason, very recent.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you see it so even more clear what's going on. Look at all the protection we get on all levels. Maya Tattva was clearly revealed in these books. Maya Tattva has never been so clear. Now it's not just hoochie goochie devil thing. You can understand it's a shadow of the Lord and all that. People think the devil is some kind of independent thing. No, it's the shadow of the Lord, and there's a lot of intricacies you can learn about this Maya and how she works in this world. And then it's not such a hoochie goochie thing, or you don't get caught up in it. You can say, oh yeah, Bill Gates, he's just part of the Maya. These gurus, they're just, part of the religion. Abandon it. Yeah, we can do that now. We know. See, we have this transcendental knowledge. And plus the Lord, he's awakening us. So we feel, oh yeah, the witness Gopal is protecting us. Yeah. You see, abandon all varieties of religion and take shelter of me. I'll give you protection. You feel that, you experience that. You don't need any religious gurus who don't have that shelter or can't appreciate the door to the shelter, right? If they need it. You got in before. You're like the wise of the Brahmins. You get into the real kingdom before they do, before the Brahmins and these gurus and these sannyasis. You get in first because you believe in the real path. See, you believe in the ecstatic cowherd boys, see? Like they did. That's the real Bhagavatam. You learn that here. They can't teach it to you. Yeah, they're in the Brahmin role. They're the obstacles at this point to move on, to move deeper. So, okay. So, did you want to give a little class there, Lalita, after this? Or maybe I'll take a break here and then you
It's
can give
okay.
a little. You want to do
Yeah.
it? You're into it? Into it? Yeah. So why don't I'll take it's 6 o'clock already. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I only wanted to do an hour today.
1 hour? It's 3 hours and a half.
Oh no, really? Oh, 3 hours and I'm sorry, I didn't know.
No, sorry.
I only wanted to do one. Oh well, I have my plan and God has his. Okay, so you can give a little class if you want. Maybe this will just be it for me. Just whenever you're done, I might go on. Maybe I'll go on a little bit later.
I just need to put something in my mouth because it's noon now and I still even had no breakfast. So
I would like to finish story, but I also have to go to cook for my boyfriend.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna, everybody. See you later.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. 3.5 hours. How can